Hello viewers, here we are driving a 2026 Range Rover Evoque. Things that I do like, I like the seats quite a bit. I think it's pretty comfortable. The driving position is good. It has pretty decent visibility even for being a smaller SUV. Okay, here's an interesting point. Do you think you can tell that you're driving a Range Rover by being in this car?
I think it has a very nice feel driving it. It does everything you want it to do when you expect to do it. It's smooth and responsive.
But in terms of the visibility and just where you're sitting,
well,
does it feel like a Range Rover?
If you're used to a Range Rover full size that has such a large high roof line that the visibility is fantastic. This is more of almost like a sport SUV that.
Right. It doesn't.
It's very much of a restricted
version
outlook.
Of that.
Right. Perhaps someone younger or has a smaller family can use the Evoque and enjoy it, especially at the price point in comparison to a full-size Range Rover, especially in the late 2020s.
Right. Yeah, where a full-size Range Rover starts at over $100,000.
Exactly.
Well, and this car actually, we looked at that F-Pace. That's about $10,000 more starting. I think overall, I much prefer this car to that as is, right? Similarly, you can't do much with them in terms of, paint color and interior choices and trim levels. But of the two fairly similar vehicles, that's a bit larger than this is. Get a bit more trunk space in that, I think. This is probably the one I would have, given that money is a real thing. Even if it wasn't, I still think I would choose this, just because I do really like the way this car looks.
You can't beat that profile. It is kind of singular in comparison to most other smaller SUVs. It just has a rakish, shark-like look to it.
Yeah.
And it's been that way since they introduced the Evoque.
Right, and that's an interesting point because it hasn't changed much at all since it was introduced in 2011 or 2012. And we've always liked the look of the car, and I think this is a reasonable evolution of it.
The interior, the thing that screams out most is the abject lack of any knobs or switches.
Yeah, it's really difficult to try to change the fan speed or the temperature or the heated seats. It's like doing a puzzle. I don't really like it very much. And yeah, I mean, there are some cool features within the screen, but for something you're going to be doing all the time, changing the climate control, I would like something a little bit more intuitive.
If you compare it to the L322 Range Rover with all those airplane-y B17 type gauges and knobs and switches, it's a big
yeah, and this doesn't seem super passionately designed, in my opinion. The room behind is not much, but it'll do the job, I guess. I can't even remember the last time I saw somebody in the car with other people. So, if that's the way cars are being used, I guess the functionality of the rear seat isn't all that important, especially with a car. I mean, this is the smallest car in the Land Rover lineup, so I guess that, that's to be expected.
The camera system is very nice for parking. It gives you a great view, makes it easy to parallel park. You can get different views.
The camera system is excellent, and we've looked at a few new modern cars, And this is actually my favorite of the ones that I think I've been in or driven, to be honest. It's probably the same with others in the Land Rover lineup, and I just haven't noticed it, but I really like the 3D element. I'll never not get a kick out of that. It has some off-road camera stuff as well, which is pretty cool, and I think one of the things that might persuade someone to buy this car over a competitor is it does have some off-road chops. It is a Land Rover, and if you're into a more, robust kind of off-roady type of thing, I think that definitely makes sense. The interior options for this car are black and then gray and black, and there's no like upgraded leather to my knowledge. It's just, this is what it is, and I think that's kind of sad, because when this car came out, it wasn't a full-size Range Rover, but it was pretty nice still.
It was innovative in its design.
Yeah. I think as a city car, and you want a Range Rover, but you can't have something that's super big, and you don't want to buy a used Range Rover, which you should, but if you don't want to for obvious reasons, I think this is a fine car. Again, the interior is kind of a huge letdown for me. This starts at $49,000, which is a lot of money, obviously, but compared to a lot of cars nowadays, it's not really. Like I said, this is about 10 grand cheaper starting than an F-Pace.
What is the newest full-size Range Rover that you can get for that amount of money?
Used for $50,000?
Yeah.
You can get a pretty freaking nice used Range Rover for that much.
How recent?
Probably like a facelift L405. Yeah, the interior is kind of the only thing that holds me back from giving this car a big 2 thumbs up, to be honest. The price is pretty good, but again, nothing that I have driven that's new makes me want to buy it over a used car. With that, folks, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you soon.